What happens when fighting to survive means you might become something? Well, something you don't even recognize anymore. When the lines blur between who you are and what you absolutely have to do, how much of yourself would you give up to save everyone you love? Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into Defiant. It's the final novel in Brandon Sanderson's amazing Skyward series. You might know it as Cytoverse number 4. It came out November 21, 2023, and this YA sci-fi book. It's not just high-stakes action. It's packed with character, courage, and really tests what it means to be human. So our mission today for you is to walk through this really intricate story. We want to pull out the key insights, the main plot points, but, and this is important without giving away any spoilers, we'll give you a solid summary respecting all those twists Sanderson is known for. You'll get a clear picture of this huge world and these really compelling characters. Basically, get you ready to appreciate this epic conclusion. And just so you know, you're listening to a unique kind of conversation. It's two AI hosts powered by Google's NotebookLM, aiming for, well, deeper and more dynamic book summaries. Okay, let's start with the setting. Sanderson paints this picture of detritus. Imagine a planet that's basically shattered, full of metal, and what's left of humanity is crammed into these underground caverns. They're always under threat. Just surviving day to day is a struggle. What kind of pressure does that put on people?
Oh, it creates this immediate, almost overwhelming sense of desperation, doesn't it? I mean, their home is literally falling apart. And on top of that, they're under constant siege from this militaristic alien group, the Superiority. Their leader, Winzik, he's completely ruthless, determined to wipe humanity out and control the galaxy. What's really interesting is how Sanderson shows survival isn't just about fighting harder. It's about being radically adaptable, you know? Even things that seem like weaknesses become strategic assets. They're constantly innovating just to exist.
That adaptability is so key, especially when we talk about Spensa, the protagonist. She comes back from the nowhere, this really bizarre, trans-dimensional place. That's where she faced the Delvers, these enigmatic and hostile alien beings, super terrifying, way beyond normal enemies. And her time there, it really changed her.
Absolutely. Spensa returns with significantly boosted cytonic powers. It's this innate ability that lets her communicate faster than light, even manipulate reality itself. These aren't just cool upgrades. They're absolutely critical for humanity's survival. Puts her right at the center of everything. And a really crucial development is her connection with Chet. He's a companion she met in the nowhere. His presence seriously enhances her cytonic abilities, and it's really key to her personal growth in the book. It deepens her understanding of her own power and makes her confront that fine line between power and responsibility.
That is a huge amount to carry, especially for someone who's always identified as a warrior first, right? So Spensa immediately struggles. She's got this new knowledge, immense power, and she's dropped right back into this escalating war. It's not just about fighting anymore. It's galactic leadership.
Right.
How does Sanderson make us feel that weight? What are some tough calls she faces?
That's a great question. He grounds it so well in her internal conflict. You see her wrestling with it, pushing past those warrior instincts sometimes, making choices that prioritize, well, unity and empathy, even when it goes against everything she knows and the sheer urgency of the war. The Defiant Defense Force, the DDF, they're now led by Jorgen Waite. You might know him as Jerkface. He's heading things up. And Spensa's core group, Skyward Flight, that's FM, Arturo, Ned, Kimmelin, they're right there with her. But the burden on Spensa is immense. You really feel it. She's responsible for stopping both the Superiority and those terrifying Delvers, while also protecting her home, her friends. The book does a masterful job showing her struggle with how much of herself she can sacrifice without losing the very humanity she's fighting for.
Yeah, it's a massive ask for anyone. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about how Sanderson expands this universe. He's brilliant at world building, and in Defiant, he blends that hard sci-fi with really inventive alien cultures and tech. It's just vast.
It really is remarkable, his ability to create such a detailed, diverse galaxy. He describes these intricate starship designs. They feel both functional and just really cool and imaginative. And then there are the AI companions. They're much more than just machines. Mbot, especially. Spensa's ship. He's sentient, wisecracking, but he's also grappling with some deep questions about his own identity and purpose. Adds humor, yeah, but also some unexpected philosophical depth. And we have to mention the Tanics, these fascinating cytonic slugs. They enable faster-than-light travel and communication, a massive strategic asset for the Defiant forces. What's cool is how all these pieces, AI, biotech slugs, fit together for survival. It feels fantastical, but grounded, too.
That complexity really matters as the fighting ramps up. Humanity finds itself needing to make alliances with some very unexpected partners. We're talking the fox-like Kitson, the purple-skinned Urdale, even defectors from the Superiority itself. Suddenly, it's not just a human war anymore. It completely broadens the conflict beyond detritus, changes the whole battlefield, and even Spensa's view of war.
Exactly. It's a huge shift, strategically and thematically. The Superiority attacks get more intense, so Skyward Flight has to launch these daring counteroffensives. But the key thing is, they aren't just using brute force. They're leveraging Spensa's unique insights into the Delvers, into the Superiority's weaknesses. Intelligence becomes a weapon. The story weaves in these covert missions, some tricky diplomatic efforts alongside the big space battles. It shows war is multifaceted. And, it underscores that unity isn't easy. Sanderson really explores the messy compromises, the psychological toll it takes for these different species, some with bad histories, to actually trust each other and fight together. It really says something about strength coming from connection.
And amidst all this epic conflict, it's not solely Spensa's show. There are loads of other engaging plot threads and character arcs that really add depth.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond Spensa, you've got M-Bot's evolving consciousness, which kind of deepens the philosophical side of things. His witty lines often hide the serious struggle with identity, which really connects with you. The Tainics, those slugs, they become more than just a tool. They're central to these really clever, high-stakes strategies, forces the Defiant team to think way outside the box, and the other members of Skyward Flight. Like FM, she brings this nuanced perspective. Arturo's got tactical brilliance. They all face their own big moments, growth, sacrifice. It reminds you everyone plays a part when the stakes are this incredibly high. Each thread just makes the whole picture richer.
Exploring all these layers, the characters, the strategy, it often makes you think about how we process things, find meaning, which actually is exactly the kind of deep thinking we encourage over at Mindful Moments, our YouTube channel. We offer AI book analysis, summaries, critiques, all designed to spark reflection and rational thought. It can be a great companion to your reading. Okay, now let's really get into the character development, the relationships, because that's what truly lifts Defiant. Spensa's transformation is huge. She goes from being almost purely a warrior to a leader who really understands the cost of war, who values empathy, and her bond with Chet. It's absolutely central to that evolution. It sort of softens her edges, but also amplifies her strengths in ways you might not expect.
And then there's Jorgen's role, which is fascinating. As flight leader and later admiral of the DDF, he's this crucial counterweight to Spensa's more, let's say, aggressive side. Jorgen really becomes the moral compass for Skyward Flight. He consistently pushes for preserving life, for unity, even when brute force seems easier. It shows the kind of complex leadership needed in a war like this, balancing tactics with ethics. We also see vital stuff from characters like FM, bringing that needed emotional intelligence and nuance, and the humor plus tactical skill from Arturo, Ned, and Kimmelin. They each add something unique and, frankly, some much-needed lightness sometimes. And we can't forget Gran, Spensa's mentor. Her wisdom connects Spensa to her past, keeps her grounded, reminds her where she came from and what she's actually fighting for.
Right. So, with all these complex characters, their interwoven stories, what's the bigger picture? What are the core themes Sanderson is really digging into here?
These themes are just woven so deeply into the story. It makes for a really intellectually stimulating read. The book seriously explores the profound cost of war, and it asks this big, timeless question. Can empathy and understanding actually win out over violence and domination? Sanderson doesn't give you easy answers. Instead, he dives into the tough choices, the moral gray areas in that kind of struggle. Taking a step back, it also really highlights how vital unity across species is, challenges our assumptions. And it shows the dangers of ideological extremism, which the Superiority embodies so powerfully. It's much more than just an action story. It's a deep think piece on identity, belonging, and what victory really means.
Yeah, Sanderson's particular style just makes these complex ideas hit home. His writing is fast-paced, very character-focused, uses that multi-perspective third-person view to keep us totally immersed.
Exactly. His prose is clear, the world building is just so imaginative, and the action sequences. They're strategic, meticulous, and keep you absolutely glued to the page. The pacing is brisk, the dialogue snaps, and his descriptions really bring those alien settings and advanced tech to life. You feel like you're right there in the cockpit with Skyward Flight. What's really impressive, I think, is how he balances the huge galaxy-spanning scale of the war with these really intimate personal character moments. It ensures you're deeply invested in every twist, every hard decision, every small victory. It's just masterful, epic storytelling that never forgets its human heart.
And all these elements are building towards, well, an unavoidable, absolutely thrilling climax. The story culminates in this decisive, galaxy-spanning confrontation. It brings everyone, characters, alliances, threats together for one massive showdown.
And Spensa, naturally, is right at the heart of it, trying to confront both the superiority and those mysterious, terrifying delvers. Her ultimate test is finding that balance between her fierce warrior instincts and this evolving sense of empathy and responsibility she's developed. The book forces her, and really it forces you, the reader, to wrestle with this profound question. Can they actually win without Spensa losing herself, losing her friends in the process? It's incredibly tense, super emotionally charged. Everything she's fought for comes down to this.
Now, we promise no spoilers, and we'll stick to that. But we can say the book delivers a really satisfying conclusion to Skyward Flight's main arc. It wraps up key character journeys and major conflicts beautifully.
Oh, it definitely provides a powerful, emotionally resonant ending for this part of the story. But very cleverly, it also leaves some intriguing doors open for future stories in the wider Cytoverse. So its impact lasts, and it sets the stage for more adventures, and the reception for Defiant, overwhelmingly positive. Fans, critics, they all recognized it as a satisfying conclusion that perfectly blended action, plot, and just incredible imagination. It really shows Sanderson's skill in delivering on years of build-up.
So what does this all mean for you, listening now? Defiant offers up this intellectually demanding but also highly entertaining end to an epic saga. It makes us think about what humanity really is when pushed to the absolute limit, and about the deep courage it takes to fight, not just with strength, but with, heart and empathy. This conversation was brought to you by Mindful Moments. If you enjoyed this summary, you'll really love the depth and variety we offer over there. Explore Mindful Moments and our other podcasts for more content like this, intellectually demanding stuff that really inspires reflection and rational thought.
And as Spensa wrestles with that ultimate sacrifice, it really leaves us with a big question to think about. In any struggle, how do we draw the line? How do we distinguish between what we must do to survive and what actually defines us as human?
Click the link on screen for the in-depth book critique. Subscribe, share, maybe purchase the book via the link, and always think rationally. See the many genre-based book podcasts at Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go.